Yes, students, welcome to the next video lecture. In the previous lecture, students, we have studied the definition of null set, finite set, and infinite set. Let us recall, students, what is a null set. A set having no elements is called null set or empty set or void set. What is a finite set? A set having countable number of elements is called a finite set, and a set having uncountable or infinite number of elements, students, is called an infinite set. This we have already discussed in the last lecture, and exercise 1.2, students, we have done first three sums. Now, students, today we'll start with the definition of equal sets. What sets are called equal sets, students? Say I have any two non-empty sets A and B. A is equal to A, B, C, and set B is equal to B, C, A. Now, students, two sets are equal under two conditions. Say A and B are equal, students, under two conditions. First, they should have same cardinal number, means the number of elements must be same, and second, the corresponding elements must be also same. So if there are three elements, then the respective three elements must be same. If there are four elements, students, then the respective four elements must be same. So for two distinct sets A and B, if the number of elements and the corresponding elements of both the sets are same, then, students, such sets are called equal sets. Then one more definition is there, students, which is not given in our textbook: equivalent sets. Students, pay attention. Equivalent sets. Say I have two sets, P is equal to 1, 2, 3, and Q is equal to, say, X, Y, and Z. Now, two sets P and Q which have same cardinal number, means number of elements, then such sets are called equivalent sets. So, students, what do you mean by equivalent sets? The sets having same number of elements, not same element, but the sets having same number of elements are called equivalent sets. So, always remember, students, equal sets are equivalent, but equivalent sets are not equal. This is a very interesting result. I repeat, equal sets are equivalent, but converse is not true, that equivalent sets are not equal. So we have to remember this result. So in short, two sets A and B becomes equal if the number of elements are same and the corresponding elements are also same, students. So this is the definition of equal sets. Now we use this definition for the remaining questions of exercise 1.2. Students, exercise 1.2, question number 4. Check which of the following pairs are equal, students. Here we are told, check which of the following pairs are equal. Now, I think here we can easily do the questions orally. So let us do the first two questions orally. Set A is equal to A, B, C, D. Or if you want, students, we can write also that is not at all an issue. But the main part of the sum is to understand the concept. Now, set A is set of elements A, B, C, D. Set A is set of elements A, B, C, and set B is set of elements D, C, B, A. Now these two sets are equal or not? Of course, students, these are equal sets because both the sets have 4 elements each and the corresponding 4 elements are same. So according to the definition of equal sets, students, these sets are equal. So I can write here, students, A is equal to. Now the second pair, A is equal to 4, 8, 12, 16. Set A consists of elements 4, 8, 12, 16. And students, set B consists of elements 8, 4, 16, 18. 8, 4, 16, 18. Check this element is not the same. So according to students, according to the definition of equal sets, the corresponding elements are not same. Number of elements are same, but the corresponding elements are not same. So A is not equal to B. What answer, students, we can write? A not equal to B. Now students, the third pair. Let us check, students, the third pair. A is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. Question 4, third pair. Set A is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 5 elements. And set B is given in property method x such that x is an even positive integer and x is less than or equal to 10. X such that x is an even positive integer less than or equal to 10. Now positive integer starts from 1 and even positive integer starts from 2, 4, 6, 8 and it is less than or equal to 10. So we will have elements 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. Number of elements and corresponding elements are same, students. So definitely we can say that set A and set B are equal. Now the fourth question, x such that x is a multiple of 10. Students, x such that x is a multiple of 10. So in the fourth question, set A will be 10, 20, 30 and onwards. This is an infinite set, students. And B is equal to 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. B is equal to 10, 15, 20, 25 and 30. Definitely we can say this element is not there in A, this element is not there in A. So according to definition, A and B are not equal, students. Very easily, students, we can decide. So this type of questions are very interesting and, students, very easy. Now in the fifth question, are the following pairs of sets equal? Give reason. Okay, students, in the fifth question, let us check the first pair, students. A is equal to set of elements 2, 3. Question 5, first pair. A consists of elements 2 and 3. B is equal to x such that x is a solution of quadratic equation x square plus 5x plus 6. X is a solution of this quadratic equation. Now students, all of you have studied in 10th standard how to solve a quadratic equation. Students, there are basically 3 methods to solve a quadratic equation. The first is by the method of factorization, second is by completing a perfect square, and third is by formula method, delta method, discriminant. D is equal to b square minus 4ac. Now here we can factorize 6 to get 5. 3 2s are 6 and 3 plus 2 5. Students, so definitely I can write the factors as x plus 3 and x plus 2 is equal to 0. So x is equal to minus 3 or minus 2. So students, the elements of set B are minus 2 and minus 3. And elements of set A are 2 and 3, students. Definitely we can say that these sets are not equal. So according to the definition of equal sets, A not equal to B. Now students, let us check the second pair. A is equal to x such that x is a letter in the word follow. Yes, students, the second pair A is equal to X such that X is a letter of the word follow. Second part. Now follow FOLLOW. So if I list the elements F, O, L and W, because O is repeated and L is repeated. In the very first lecture, students, on the very first day I told you two important things to remember about sets. No elements are repeated in a set, and the order in which the elements are written is not important. We can write any element first and any element last. Then B is equal to Y such that Y is a letter of the word wolf. Now spelling of wolf. So set B will be having elements W, O, L, F. All these are distinct. Check. Number of elements are same and the corresponding elements are also same. So according to the definition of equal sets, A and B are equal, students. So definitely, students, we can say that A is equal to B. Now, students, the sixth question. Let us check what is the question from the given sets below. Select equal sets. Now this is very easy, students. You can easily select which sets are equal. Now check. Set A consists of elements 2, 4, 8, 12. Set B is 1, 2, 3, 4. Set C is 4, 8, 12, 14. Set D is 3, 1, 4, 2. Set E is -1, 1. Set F is 0, A. Set G is 1, -1, and set H is 0, 1. Now in the sixth question, students, very easily you can decide that set B and D are equal. So the first pair is B is equal to D, and then the second pair is E is equal to G. Check. Sets E and G are equal, students. Now this is very simple. This type of elementary question, students, you have done. So there are two equal pairs, set B and D. So B is equal to D and E is equal to G. Okay, now students, the next topic of the chapter is subset. Now students, this topic onwards, or this particular topic, has lot of emphasis in set theory. And based on subsets, many advanced concepts of sets are studied, students. Based on subsets, many advanced concepts of sets are studied, students. So one has to be very careful, students, in understanding the definition of subset. Now students, in your 8th and 9th standard, you have easily or already studied the definition of subset. Let us revise, students, the definition of subset. Now say there are two non-empty sets A and B. Definition of subset. Say set A consists of elements A, B, and set B consists of elements A, B, E and S. Now if I have two non-empty sets A and B as I have written, then every element of A is also an element of B. Therefore, students, we can say that A is subset of B. This symbol denotes subset. So if there are two non-empty sets A and B, if every element of A, students, is also an element of B, then A, students, is called subset of B. Now students, one more definition of subset we have, and that is in terms of logic, mathematical reasoning. Students, if A is an element of A, then A is an element of B, we say that A is a subset of B. If A is an element of A, then A is an element of B, we say A is a subset of B. If and then, if A is an element of set A, then A is also an element of set B, students, then we say that A is a subset of B. Now students, this is basically a question of mathematical reasoning, logic. For the time being, you have to only remember the mathematical form, that if A belongs to A implies A belongs to B, then A is a subset of B. What you have to remember, this definition in words, this is based on logic I am writing here. If A belongs to capital A implies A belongs to capital B, then A is a subset of B. In chapter number 14 in mathematical reasoning, students, again I will explain you this in detail. So students, let us come to the topic of subset, definition of subset once again. For non-empty sets A and B, if every element of A is also an element of B, then students, A is called subset of B. It is denoted by this symbol, A subset B. One more definition of subset we have in terms of logic. If A is an element of set A, then A is also an element of set B, then students, we can say that A is a subset of B. This is actually based on logic, which is based on implication, students. So when I will explain you implication in logic in chapter 14, once again we will discuss. For the time being, you only remember this much. If A is an element of set A, implies, this arrow means implies A is an element of set B, then students, we can definitely say that A is a subset of B. Now students, number of subsets, and one more definition also we have, that is power set. Now this I think all of you are very well aware of. Suppose A has two elements, then the number of subsets of A are 2 raised to n, 2 raised to 2, that is 4, where n is number of elements of a set. So in general, if I say if a set has n distinct elements, number of subsets are 2 raised to n. Suppose a set has 5 elements, then the number of subsets of that set are 2 raised to 5, which is 32. In general, if any set A has n elements, then number of subsets of set A are 2 to the power n. That students, you already know and you must remember. Now for non-empty sets A and B, if A is subset of B, then students, B is called superset of A. B is called superset of A and A is called proper subset of A. So in this relation, A subset of B, B is called superset of A and A is called proper subset of. Remember this. So the left hand side A is called proper subset and the right hand side set B is called superset. The set which includes the given set, that is always called, students, superset. So in the relation A subset B, B is called the superset of A and A is called the proper subset of B, students. That we should perfectly remember. Now students, concentrate. We are going to do exercise 1.3, question number 1. So all of you have to be very careful in understanding this type of logical sums, students. We have to understand this type of logical sum, students, very, very carefully. And one more definition which I have already taught in the last lecture, it is a singleton set. Students, what do you mean by singleton set? A set consisting of only one element. A set consisting of only one element, students, is called a singleton set. So that also, students, you have to perfectly remember. Say I write a set X is equal to element 2. Set Y is equal to element A, then this set Y and set X are called singleton sets. So a set having only one element, students, are called singleton sets. Okay students, now exercise 1.3, we are going to start with main question 1. students, exercise 1.3, we are going to start with main question 1. And here students, we have to be very careful in understanding and interpreting the question. Now, make the correct statements by filling in the symbol subset or not a subset in the blank spaces. 234-1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first statement, exercise 1.3, main question 1, part 1. 2, 3, 4. Dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now students, you can very easily tell me whether this is a subset or not. Now every element of, say, this is set A and say this is set B. Every element of set A is an element of set B. So here the fill in the blank will be by the relation subset. Second statement, ABC dash BCD. A, B, C dash BCD. Now check here, A is the different element and here D is the different element. So the first set is not a subset of second. So here it will be not a subset. Third. Now students, pay attention, this third set we are discussing orally. I am naming the sets as A. And now be careful how we are interpreting or how students we are discussing the question. X such that X is a student of class 11th of your school. Now all of you are students of Naimisharanya school. So you consider any one student of your class students. Class 11 science, English medium, Naimisharanya. And the another set is X such that X is a student of your school. So, a student of your school is the second set, and it is set B. And set A is a student of class 11th of your school. Students, be careful. A student from your class will be definitely a student of school. Yes or no? You take any one student A from your class, that student is definitely the student of the whole school. So in the first set we have students of standard 11th and in the second set we have students of the school. Definitely all the students of standard 11th will be, you can say, a student of school. So here the relation will be subset. Now students, the fourth question, students, fourth question. X says that X is a circle in the plane. And X says that X is a circle in the same plane with radius 1 unit. Here also I name the set as M and N. Now students, all of you be careful. Our first set is M. X says that X is a circle in the plane. Now students, first of all you should know what is plane. A closed bounded figure is always defined as a plane. Thus whiteboard is a plane. Your textbook is a plane. Your dining table is a plane. A closed bounded figure, students, is always a plane. So your set M is X such that X is a circle in the plane. Now in this plane I can draw infinite number of circles with different radius. So set M consists of infinite number of circles which can be drawn in this plane, for example. And N is X such that X is a circle in the same plane with radius 1 unit. Now if there are infinite circles in a plane, of those infinite circles we would definitely have some circles with radius 1 unit. 1 unit can be 1 millimeter also, 1 centimeter also, 1 inch also, 1 meter also, 1 kilometer also, and 1 mile also. So in the first set we have all possible circles of different radii, students. and in the second set we have only the circles with radius 1 unit. So indirectly the first set is not a subset of second set, but second set is a subset of first. In the total circles in a plane, we will have circles with radius 1 unit. But the first set, students, is not a subset of second. So here what should I write the symbol? Not a subset. So be careful about this type of question. It is very logical. Then fifth question, x says that x is a triangle in a plane and x says that x is a rectangle in the plane. Now these two sets are of different polygons. Triangle is a polygon with 3 sides and rectangle is a polygon with 4 sides. So definitely you can say that the first set is not a subset of second. So if I call the sets as x and y, here I should write not a subset. Now students, the sixth pair. X says that x is an equilateral triangle in a plane. Students, equilateral triangle means triangle with all 3 sides and corresponding angles same. And the second set is x says that x is any triangle in the plane. So if I name the sets as E and F. Now set E is set of equilateral triangles and set F is set of all triangles in a plane. So this is my plane and my set F consists of all triangles in a plane. In that all triangles, equilateral triangles are included. So here the relation is, students, subset. Here students, the relation is subset. Then students, the next question is, x says that x is an even natural number. Now students, even natural number, I am writing 7th pair as say, you can see we will name this as S and T. So set S is of even natural number, students. Even natural number starts from 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 up to infinity, and x says that x is an integer. Now integers are positive also, negative also, including 0. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 are definitely integers. So definitely the relation will be, students, the subset. So we have to fill in the gap with the relation, students, subset. So students, we have started the concept of subset. This type of questions are very interesting, students, very logical. Still, if you feel that you have any doubt, you can definitely call me. I'll help you to solve your doubts. But students, one request, before calling me, you message me so that I can make myself available for you solving your doubts. Today's homework, do exercise 1.2 once again only in fair book. I repeat, students, do exercise 1.2 once again in fair book, and even do the first sum of exercise 1.3 once in fair book and once in rough book. I repeat, exercise 1.3, the first sum, students, once you do in rough book with looking and proper understanding, and second time, students, you write in fair book without looking from the solution. Try to do on your own with your justification and understanding. Is this clear, students? So today we have done the concept of subset, and the concept of subset, students, it is very, very important in advanced study of sets. So the definition is very simple. We have even done the definition of singleton set. That also, students, you know very well how to define a singleton set. A set consisting of single element, one element, is called a singleton set. So here, students, we conclude the lecture. See you in the next lecture. I hope you are at home. Don't waste time. Stay safe, but study hard. Students, time is a factor which is irreversible. Once time is lost, it is never, you can say, regained or obtained. So be careful, use time, make maximum of the available lectures, and please write perfectly, neatly in fair book. Maintain a fair book. We will check your fair book, students, as soon as we meet in school when school reopens. So fair book is to be properly maintained. It is for your reference, students. It is not for our reference. It is for your reference. Write neatly. Once again, any number of doubts are welcome. See you in the next lecture. Thank you, students.